Welcome to DCU Worlds. James Gunn confirmed to Happy Sad Confused that he has no plans for Watchmen in the DCU and praised Lindelof's HBO series. But before that, he also confirmed that DC Studios will have creative freedom to tell different stories, meaning stories that will be part of the Elseworlds label. He also mentions Superman Red Son and then talks about Watchmen, differentiating DC Comics from Marvel Comics, saying that's what he likes about DC because it has different stories and more. So I'll comment on all this in today's video, but before we start, don't forget to hit the like button, comment below, and subscribe for more content like this. Also, follow our other social media on Instagram and Threads. I'll keep you updated on this universe we love so much. Well, during the interview, James Gunn said he is ready to tell different stories for the DCU with the DC Elseworlds label. I also talked about this in the previous video where I discuss Huntress and Batman the Brave and the Bold. The DCU really needs to be different. It can't always cling to the same characters most people know. He mentions that this is what sets DC Comics apart from Marvel Comics because DC has so many different stories that are really fun to follow. That's why it's not always good to stick with familiar characters. It can be good as well as risky for the DCU. Why could this be good? Because there won't be saturation of stories or characters. And why could it be risky? Because if DC Studios focuses too much on lesser-known characters, audiences may not enjoy the content. But I don't think this is a problem because the true foundation for a movie or series or animation being good is the script. Let's take an example. The Penguin series. When it was announced, no one cared about it because it was a B-list character from DC, especially a Batman villain not well known to most audiences. But HBO managed to create an impressive Mafia series that no one expected, and it became very successful. Now it's getting Golden Globe nominations. Why? Because it had a great script, good direction, and a long production time. That's why James Gunn keeps saying they will only start production of the film once the script is ready. This is a good point because DCU productions will have higher quality content and authority while telling these different stories but still moving forward with the DCU. But I also understand people are eager to see this universe grow as fast as possible because soon a film may be announced but won't debut for 5 years because the script isn't done or isn't good yet and things like that. But this will also depend on the production team or those who monitor the studio. I like James Gunn's idea of telling different stories because DC is vast and rich with many famous tales. Now, let's talk about Watchmen because James Gunn practically confirmed there are no plans for Watchmen in the DCU, which has frustrated some people, including me. However, I think there might be some reason for this, which I'll explain shortly. But first, let's hear what James Gunn said.
Would you go back and do anything more with Watchmen?
I don't know. I really like, I really respect Alan Moore, I will say,
Yeah.
I really respect him. Yeah, but that's it. I did love the TV show. So
TV show was pretty great.
I do understand why James Gunn won't include Watchmen in his universe. Watchmen is one of the best, if not the best, superhero comic stories ever written. So I get why Watchmen isn't in James Gunn's plans. It's an incredibly complex and realistic story that, in my opinion, fits much better as an Elseworlds tale rather than part of a fantastical shared universe, despite having some fantastical elements too. James Gunn also praises the HBO series by Lindelof, which in my opinion is a really, really awesome show. And this series, if I'm not mistaken, is made by the same producers who are doing the Lanterns series, and I think this Green Lantern series will have almost the same vibe as Watchmen. I watched this series a few days ago, and it's genius how they continue the comic story. It's not a direct continuation, but brilliant how they explore new characters and themes like racism and systemic violence while also making references and connections to the events from Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons' comics. This series is more like an expansion of the Watchmen universe than a continuation of the story. But it's truly genius how they portray all those concepts in that series. If you haven't watched it or read the comic yet, stop everything you're doing in your life and watch this series or read the comic. But after you finish watching this video, of course. Seriously, I highly recommend you get to know more about this Watchmen universe because it's quite different, realistic, and very authorial. Well, that was everything I wanted to talk to you about. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment below, and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you very much for watching until now, and I'll see you in the next video.